Hey guys, so today we have the OPPO Reno5 that is going to be launched on January 18. We're just going to do a little camera test. We're not going to go full on. That will come in a review video later on. So let's get to it. But before I start, here are the camera specs. So this phone has a 64 megapixel main lens paired with an 8 megapixel ultra wide lens, a 2 megapixel macro lens, and another 2 megapixel depth sensor. Now on the front, you're getting a 32 megapixel lens for your selfies. And if you want to know more, here are some of its other specs. Okay, so first let's look at some of its daytime photos. The photos turn out really sharp and the colors are slightly unnatural, but those who like vibrant images may just prefer this. You also get a lot of details, but if you want more, you can always use the extra HD mode where it uses its 64 megapixel lens to take the shot. So even when you zoom in, you're getting lots of details. The ultra-wide lens isn't too bad either. As compared to other phones that I've tested, the distortion isn't as obvious, and I find the colors actually nicer as compared to the normal lens because it isn't as intense, but you are still getting lots of details despite it being an 8 megapixel lens. However, it gets a bit darker as compared to the main lens, so you might want to take ultra-wide shots at brighter places. Moving on to the macro lens, you can see it works really well with close subjects, so the details are really obvious in this DualSense controller. And if we look at this Bokeh, the fur and some dust, I guess, it's also very obvious. Just make sure you stay within that 4 cm range. If we look at the portrait shots, it's basically what every girl wants. With the rear cameras, you get really clear photos with flawless skin and you have really nice skin tone. But I will suggest that you adjust the beautification effect if you want a more natural look. On default, it is quite intense. The same applies when you use the front camera. During the daytime, your selfies are great. Color is fine. But here's where it gets slightly worse. When it comes to nighttime selfies, even though we are using a 32 megapixel camera, you need really steady hands for your selfies to look good. Even if it's slightly shaky, then your photos will become a bit blurred. But there is one good thing, which is the selfie light. So if you're in really dark situations, it can really brighten up your selfies. But I think it is also a bit too bright, and sometimes I just look like a ghost. You can also adjust the bokeh effect if you don't want it to be too obvious, but overall, its cropping is not really accurate. One thing I wish though is that I can adjust the bokeh effect even when I'm using OPPO's neon portrait filter, so it's similar to that AI night flare portrait that we've seen in the Reno 4, and it only works on the rear camera. So what it does is it turns your background lights into neon bokeh, but these pictures tend to get yellower, and because you cannot adjust the bokeh effect, it looks a bit fake. As for the night photos, the Reno 5 doesn't disappoint. You get more details with night mode turned on, and it really toned down overexposed area, but at the same time, it will brighten darker areas. So if you like really bright night photos, you can take without the night mode, but I find the pictures nicer if you have the night mode on. Now, if you're also interested in taking videos, there are two video features that you should check out. One is called the AI highlight video. It's like a night mode for videos, so if you're at really dark places, you can turn that on and you'll get better videos. And another one is called the dual view video. So basically, it uses its front camera and back camera to shoot at the same time. I'm thinking probably some reaction-based video or when there are interactions between two parties. And yeah, that's our video for today. If you're excited to check out the Reno 5, which is launching January 18, then stay tuned and we will update its price once we know in the description box down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel KLGadgetTV, and I'll see you in the next one.